It's that time of the year again. It's time for my top 25. This year, my list didn't change as drastically as it did last year. Only 7 new credits I got are currently in my top 25, and I did do some minor rearranging. Anyways, it's time for the ranking. In 25th place is Superman Ultimate Flight at Six Flags Great America. This is a ride where the name perfectly fits the ride experience. The forces alone might not be too crazy, but taking them in a flying position makes it pretty crazy. Even then, the inversions provide strong moments of forces. The inline twist has good laterals, and the negative force during the pretzel loop is insane. This ride definitely makes a statement for the coasters at this park. Taking 24th place is Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great America. This ride is a perfectly solid experience the whole way through. There's no break between the strong forces on this ride. It may not have the stats to back itself up, but the strong positives and quick doses of laterals make it a coaster I want to ride every time I come back to this park. Taking the 23rd spot is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. I like everything about this ride. I was invested in the story throughout the whole experience, even during the queue. The forces weren't the strongest, but they did toss me around a bit. The spinning and the backwards launch just added the cherry on top. This is the pinnacle of Disney coasters. In the 22nd spot is Max Force at Six Flags Great America. In its short duration, this ride packs in a lot. The launch is incredibly punchy, and the Heartline Roll provides crazy laterals. The taller elements have some okay hang time. It wasn't crazy, but it was there. Aside from the hang time, the taller elements didn't do anything for me, and that's why I don't have it as high in my rankings as other people would. But it still was a very enjoyable ride. In 21st place is Gatekeeper at Cedar Point. Aside from the ending, I find this to be a perfect wing coaster. The elements on their own would be okay, but the wing seating makes them amazing and more terrifying. The keyhole inversion and wing over drop were really close to making me scream like a little child. Honestly, the restraints didn't bother me, and I found this ride to be really smooth. I was even sitting in an outside seat. Taking 20th place is Wrath of Rakshasa at Six Flags Great America. I love the way a lot of the elements tossed me around. The first drop had some crazy airtime that I found wasn't interrupted by the vest restraints. The rolls in the middle had me pinned to the side of my seat. I even found this ride to be smooth in the front middle seat, but it was quite rough in the back outside seats, which happens to be the only downside with this ride for me. Taking the 19th spot is Madugani at Lost Island. Almost every element on this ride provides great moments of forces. The launch may have a slow top speed, but it's quite punchy. There were good but quick pops of ejector airtime all over the place, and the inversions had really good hang time. Combined with Fire Runner, this park has one hell of a 1-2 punch. In the 18th spot is Incredible Hulk at Islands of Adventure. This ride is a constant stream of force for 75% of it. All of the elements until the mid-course provide positives that could easily make me gray out. On top of that, the launch is very punchy for an inclined one, and the theming alone makes this an experience. Unfortunately, that finale being forceless is what's stopping the whole ride from still being much higher in my rankings. In 17th place is Magnum XL200 at Cedar Point. This ride is the jankiest hypercoaster I've ever ridden, and I love it. I didn't get any airtime on the first drop and airtime hill, but that could be explained by me sitting in the magic seat. The following airtime hills all have great floater or ejector airtime, and the lift going into them is kind of violent because of the jank. The turnaround has some decent positives, and the transitions into and out of it are very janky, but they aren't painful. This ride helps define stupid fun. Taking 16th place is Renegade at Valleyfair. Aside from the roughness, this is one hell of a wooden coaster. Almost every element has some combination of airtime and laterals. It felt out of control for the entire experience. Even though the seatbelts have caused some complaints, I found a way to negate their effects. This is truly one of the craziest wooden coasters I've ever ridden. Taking the 15th spot is Raptor at Cedar Point. Even with the dead spots on this ride, it still manages to deliver fantastic moments of forces. All of the inversions provide great positives, laterals, or both. On top of that, the Helix is an endless stream of positives that nearly made me gray out. It really makes a statement for being a background coaster at Cedar Point. In the 14th spot is Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America. This ride also has its fair share of dead space, but this ride breaks it up with fantastic floater airtime moments, with some ejector sprinkled in. The drops off of the lift hill and mid-course provide strong pops of ejector airtime, and the camelbacks provide amazing floater airtime. Even some of the boring moments can sneak an airtime pop in. It's truly a great hypercoaster. In 13th place is Shivering Timbers at Michigan's Adventure. This ride has airtime hills for days, and they all provide good floater airtime. I was amazed as to how long this ride is. At times, I felt like it was never going to end. Thankfully, this ride breaks up the repetitive nature of those airtime hills with a couple helixes. It was rough in a few spots, but they never took the ride experience away from me. Taking 12th place is Powder Keg at Silver Dollar City. This ride exceeded my expectations. The launch is quite punchy, and the airtime moments really hit. I was also pleasantly surprised at how smooth this ride is, both on the new and old track. Sure, the ending is a little short, but I appreciate it not going straight into the brake run. I have to hand it to S&S and Silver Dollar City for making this ride. Taking the 11th spot is Zippin' Pippin' at Bay Beach. This ride has some of the best floater airtime on any wooden coaster I've ridden. Every floater hill gently lifted me out of my seat, and my butt never touched the seat until the train crested over the hill. On top of that, there's the ejector death hill. That hill provides a very abrupt pop of ejector airtime. It's not as legendary as some people make it out to be, but it's still very fun. Honestly, the only downside is that the turns are extremely rough, but at least they're slow enough to not be painful. Entering my top 10 is Goliath at Six Flags Great America. This ride may be short in duration, but all of the elements hit, even the turnarounds. The first turnaround and the inversions provide really good hang time, and the airtime moments provide really good ejector airtime. This is a well-rounded ride that delivers all kinds of forces. In the 9th spot is Monster at Adventureland. I love the funky elements this ride offers. Almost all of the elements had been modified to provide an extra force. For this ride, that kind of thing usually results in extra laterals or hang time. The loop and final two inversions provide the best hang time. This ride is what all American coaster enthusiasts should visit Iowa for. In 8th place is Maverick at Cedar Point. This ride has incredibly snappy moments of laterals and strong moments of airtime. I really felt like a ragdoll throughout the whole ride. Every S-bend was extremely snappy, and every airtime moment almost bruised my thighs from hitting the restraints. Honestly, the inversions are the most forgettable moments on this ride. They're still really solid, but they didn't wow me as much as most of the other moments on this ride. Taking 7th place is Hades 360 at Mount Olympus. This ride is just pure craziness for most of the experience. The pre-lift has some genuinely good ejector airtime pops, and the tunnel sections are constantly throwing in airtime and laterals. The corkscrew and overbank aren't too forceful, but they're very unique for a wooden coaster. Sure, the finale is kind of tame, but it's a nice ending to this insane wooden coaster. Taking the 6th spot is Mamba at Worlds of Fun. This ride is filled with fantastic elements. The airtime moments in the first half provide good floater airtime, and that helix is really intense. I grayed out in that helix every time I rode this ride. On top of that, all of the airtime hills in the finale provide strong floater airtime. The strong positives and airtime are why this is my favorite traditional hypercoaster. In the 5th spot is Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. I seriously cannot name any flaws with this ride. I've heard complaints about the roughness and its short duration, but I found neither of them to be the case. This ride also happens to have no filler track. All of the elements provide amazing forces that build off of each other to form a really good flow of elements. There's a reason this happens to be my favorite wooden coaster. In 4th place is Millennium Force at Cedar Point. This ride may be graceful, but it still is super fun. There are some really good positives in the Valley of the First Drop and going through the first overbank. Most of the airtime moments provide perfect floater airtime, and the speed hail provides a quick dose of ejector airtime. Even though the other overbanks aren't super forceful, they still really help showcase this ride's speed, and that's this ride's main selling point. Taking the bronze medal is Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City. This ride has it all. The airtime on its own is really strong, but the spinning makes those moments really stand out. The inversions would be forgettable with normal trains, but again, the spinning makes them very memorable. On top of that, the theming is really good. Sure, some of the elements are pretty tame, but the spinning adds some extra spice to them. It really just boils down to the spinning making nearly everything better on this ride. Taking the silver medal is Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this ride. The first half may not have great stats, but it has sneaky airtime and lateral pops. The inversions are pretty whippy, and it's all surrounded by fantastic theming. Both launches are also quite punchy. The second half may drop the amazing theming, but the elements are on a whole different level. The stall provides great hang time, and the Mosasaurus roll is very whippy and provides great upside down airtime. The other elements in the second half provide great combined moments of laterals and airtime. This whole ride is an amazing and well-rounded experience. Taking the gold medal is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point. This is the star of the show at Cedar Point. The airtime on this ride isn't the most insane, but the sheer quantity of it makes it really special. Most of the inversions provide great pops of laterals, but the stall provides great laterals and hang time. The first half of this ride has a perfect flow of elements that make it a flawless first half. And the second half has mostly airtime hills with quick but strong pops of ejector and a couple overbanks and inversions to break them up. There aren't a lot of roller coasters in the world that could possibly top Steel Vengeance for me. That will wrap it up for the video. It was nice for me to see a top 25 list that didn't change as much as it did last year. With that said, since my credit count has quadrupled in the last 2 years, I'm seriously considering doing what Airtime Thrills did a couple years back and tear down my entire list and rebuild it from the ground up. That way, I feel I could have a list that more genuinely fits my feelings for the rides. Anyways, it's time for me to go now. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.